what's up, you guys? Mariah Rochelle here with my second podcast ever. So right now, I'm super excited. I am just absolutely filled with joy and excitement because I just feel like this is going to be an amazing podcast number 2. I find that the easiest way for me to make a podcast is to just be laying down and closing my eyes. I don't know how long this one's going to go for, but I'm open and really excited. So, right now I'm reading a book called The Tibetan Book of the Dead, and it is fucking amazing. I feel like it's bringing into full circle all of these thoughts I've been having recently. One of the main ones being, the duality of life. And recently I've been saying to myself, to people I know, to friends, that, there is a duality in life. And the duality is we're never doing anything wrong. Everything, we have to experience pain in order to understand pleasure. That goes for every single emotion and feeling in the world. And that is just so exciting. It is such a relief to know that we could be doing no wrong in this lifetime. We are doing no wrong in this lifetime. We are a part of Mother Earth's circulation, her heartbeat. There is no possible way in this lifetime we could ever miss a beat. We are not missing a beat. And that anxiety and that fear, we think it catches up with us, and so we live from it, but it's not even really real. I mean, perhaps it is. I guess that's just part of the duality, is also experiencing those feelings, but a lot of it is unfounded because we're still going to experience the bliss that life gives us as well. But I guess we have to experience, the frustration, the anger, the separation as well. Everything is a part of life and a part of death. And another thing that the book talks about is it talks about the 6 layers of the afterlife and how we're creating them. And I think that they fit perfectly with also how we create life as well, except for when you pass over, everything is created out of imagery. Anything that you could think of, you'll create. And that's the same thing that's happening in this life, except we see it more in a human form. So if you're angry, you're going to attract anger. But in terms of when you pass over onto the other side, that anger can turn into what is perceived as hell. And so you create a hell for yourself, and you're in a constant reflection with the mirror of anger that you're feeling inside of you, and it's confusion and blame, and that's all inward experiences. So because nothing can explain it quite as good as the book, I'm going to read a part from the book where they talk about the realm of hell, and I may include some commentary. The realm of hell is the most intense. First, there is a buildup of energies, of emotions, to a crescendo, so that at some stage we find it very confusing whether the energies are controlling us or we are controlling them. Then suddenly, we lose track of this whole race, and our mind is put into a blank state, which is the luminosity. From that blank state, an intense temptation to fight begins to develop, and that paranoia also begins terror. I want to talk about how we even do this in our life, in our walking life. This is what creates a whole play on just a fear-based reality. We let these emotions build up, and we live in a state of fear, and it just keeps building and building and building until suddenly you're stubbing your toe and everything. There's car crashes happening everywhere, and there's just fear, just pure fear. Originally, the paranoia and terror were supposed to fight against something, but one is not quite certain whom exactly one is fighting. And when the whole thing has developed, the terror begins to turn against oneself. When one tries to strike out, instead of fighting the projection, one is striking inward. It is like the story of the hermit who saw a leg of a lamb in front of him and wanted to pick it up and cook it. His teacher told him to mark it with a cross, then later he discovered that the cross was marked on his own chest. This explains that in life, everything is a reflection. What you feel inside of you, you will project outwards into the universe. It is that kind of notion you think there is something outside to attack or fight or win over. In most cases, hatred is like that. You are angry with something and try to destroy it, but at the same time, the process becomes self-destructive. It turns inward and you would like to run away from it, but then it seems too late. You are the anger itself, so there is nowhere to run away. You are haunting yourself constantly, and that is the development of hell. Very vivid descriptions of hell are found in Gampapa's jewel ornament of liberation, and symbolically each intense torture is a psychological portrait of oneself. In the hell realm, you are not exactly punished, but overwhelmed by the environment of terror, which you create, which is described as fields and mountains of red-hot iron and space filled with sparks of fire. Even if you decide to run away, you have to walk over this burning metal, and if you decide not to run away, you are turned into charcoal yourself. There is intense claustrophobia, heat coming from all directions. The whole earth is turned into hot metal, whole rivers are turned into melted iron, and the whole sky is permeated with fire. The other type of hell is the reverse, the experience of intense cold and snow, an icy world in which everything is completely frozen. This is another type of aggression, the aggression which refuses to communicate at all. It is a kind of indignation which usually comes from intense pride, and the pride turns into an ice-cold environment which, reinforced by self-satisfaction, begins to get into the system. It does not allow us to dance or smile or hear the music. I believe that this is important to understand because it helps us see that we truly do create everything. Even a perceived hell, we create it. So after hearing this interpretation of hell, do you think hell is real? Do you think it really exists? Or do you think that we really create our reality? Leave a comment below and tell me what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe for more podcasts every week.